on the TBS EFM app or YouTube. Life Abroad, helping you navigate your life in Korea.
And bringing us the news that we need to know is reporter Angela Chung. Good morning, Angela.
Good morning.
Hope you had a great weekend.
Me too.
Well, over the weekend, we heard the announcement of the first case in Korea of a pet testing positive for the coronavirus. So give us an update on that.
Cases of pets getting the infectious virus through their owners have been reported in countries such as Japan, Hong Kong, Brazil, and Italy, but no such case had been confirmed in Korea just until yesterday. The infected kitten tested positive on Thursday was found at a religious facility in the city of Jinju in South Gyeongsang province.
Now, that Shinju, that's where over 100 people were infected earlier this month, right?
That's right. As of this Thursday, Thursday, 108 people were confirmed to have gotten the virus after visiting this facility. But during a tracking process, officials found that a mother and daughter staying at the facility were raising 3 cats. And among them, the infected pet was one of the 2 kittens there. Health authorities suspect the cat got the virus from the mother and daughter who have both tested positive for COVID-19.
Right. Like those cases that you mentioned, the rare cases around the world where there have been other pets that got infected, it was usually human to animal transmission, right?
That's right.
Is there any plan concerning this? Because I imagine some people are going to be a little bit concerned about the possibility of transmitting or even getting the virus from their pets.
Government officials cited health experts and said it's very rare for pets to transmit virus to humankind. But the Prime Minister Chung Se-kyun urged the authorities to look into the possibility of transmission between humans and animals and to transparently share the findings for people who live with pets. He also asked the MAFRA, Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs, to consult with health authorities to prepare guidelines for pet owners.
Hopefully, we won't see any sort of abandoning of pets over concerns about transmissions. I think this is what we saw earlier in the outbreak last year in some countries as well. Moving on, though, we have seen the number of COVID cases, the daily count anyway, it fell below 400 last week, but we know that the current 2.5 social distancing measures have been extended until this coming weekend. There have been no changes to that.
Exactly. In the capital areas, we've been keeping the current level 2.5 with the ban on gatherings of 5 or more people and restriction on business operations after 9 p.m. And even though the number of infections have been decreasing, authorities plan to closely monitor this week's infections to decide whether to lower or maintain the current social distancing measures.
Because I think I saw in the news that the daily average of number of cases that we saw last week was enough to lower it to level 2, was it not?
Yeah, the average of last week between the 17th and 23rd was 384, which was decreased by 132 from the previous week, with 516 people infected. Also, the reproduction rate stands at around 0.8.
So that's good news as well. Under 1 is also good news. So if we see that numbers, it means that we are eligible to go down to level 2.
That's right. But considering the upcoming Lunar New Year, when many people usually travel around the country, the decision on social distancing rules will be announced this week ahead of the holiday that falls on February 11th through 13th.
Okay. Now, after the Lunar New Year, of course, another sort of major event that is coming up is the start of the school season, and that'll be in March. Has the government come up with any plans regarding the start of the new school year?
Unless a major cluster case arises, schools nationwide are expected to open in early March as usual. As schools are about to reopen soon, a research paper entitled Children with COVID-19 After Reopening of Schools South Korea is actually catching the attention. This paper suggests that classrooms should provide in-person learning, stressing that keeping kids at home was actually costly at both the individual and societal levels.
I think a lot of working moms and people will know how stressful it was, not only for the parents, but of course the kids. And I think this report gathered a lot of attention because it also linked to the KDCA chief Chung Eun-kyung. Her name was on it, and so instantly kind of granted credibility.
Yes, there are a lot of voices saying that in order to protect children's rights and meet their basic needs, the government should shift the focus of virus control away from school closures. Because according to the study that analyzed 127 cases in children aged between 3 and 18 who were diagnosed with the virus between May 1st and July 12th last year, 46% were actually exposed to the virus through their relatives, followed by 14% who were infected at private schools, while only 2% actually caught the virus at school.
So if we just look at those numbers, albeit they were taken only in the second quarter of last year, it does seem like it makes sense to reopen the schools. But I guess the government will come to a decision regarding that. Moving on to some lighter news and maybe some brighter news as well. With the decreasing number of COVID-19 cases, definitely saw a lot more people out and about, especially with the opening of cafes. But a surprising number of people also went to the theater over the weekend. More than 150,000 people on Saturday alone.
Yes, last Saturday, around 154,000 people visited movie theaters. This is first since the last Christmas when there were more than 100,000 people a day. And this was hugely due to the new Pixar movie Soul, directed by Pete Docter, who's best well known for the 2015 hit animation Inside Out. Soul dominated the box office, attracting an audience of more than 130,000 in just one day. One movie attracting more than 130,000 a day is the first since last November Korean movie Collectors featuring Lee Jae-hoon.
Now, this movie titled Soul, what is it about? It's about looking into one's soul, doing some deep searching.
Yes, the movie, The Soul, is about Joe Gardner, who's a middle school music teacher whose soul accidentally gets separated from his body. And it is taken to the Great Before, which is a fantastical place where souls get personalities, quirks, and interests before being sent to Earth. And to get back to Earth and reunite with his physical body, Joe joins hands with his soul 22, who has a dim view on life.
Interesting. Okay. Have to go check it out. Now, with the Lunar New Year coming up, I guess we can look forward to some other movies in the theaters.
Yeah, there will be a lot of new movies being released, especially after 3 major multiplex chains, including CGV, Megabox, and Lotte Cinema, agreed to pay additional support funds. And to name some, there will be a Japanese film, Demon Slayer, a Korean movie, Three Sisters, starred by Moon So-ri, Kim Sun-young, and Jang Yun-ju, and another Korean movie based on a true story called I Don't Fire Myself. And even more, in February, there will be a comic SF, There is an Alien Here, romance story, New Year Blues, IE, and even A War with Grandpa.
So many attractions at the theater. Definitely be going out there. Thank you as always, Angela. Have a great week.
Thank you. Have a great week.
See you on Friday.
Bye-bye.